People look at each other differently, sometimes with indifference, other times with love or hate or envy or fear or respect. But it's not the outward expression of the eyes that is the main factor here. The outward appearance can be just an ordinary mask, like the forced smile of a waiter or a salesman. What's important are the true attitudes, the true feelings one person harbors towards another. The more positive emotions people express towards a particular individual, the more positive energy is concentrated in him. On the other hand, if negative emotions predominate in the atmosphere surrounding a person, he will experience a culmination of negative and destructive energy. Among the common folk, this is called a spell, and folk healers base their actions on this phenomenon. By no means all folk healers are charlatans. The whole point is that a person who has been the target of too much negative energy from those around him is himself capable of neutralizing it or, in other words, compensating for it. By telling the patient that he has removed the spell by certain types of actions, the healer helps him believe that he is cleansed. If the patient believes the healer, he is really evening out the balance within himself between the positive and the negative. If he doesn't believe, it won't happen. You don't believe in folk healers and, consequently, they won't be of any help to you. But that isn't to say that you don't have an excess of negative energy which is destructive to your mind and body. Why negative? Precisely because a man in your position can only be looked upon by people around you with resentment. And I don't mean just a bit of harmless envy. They might look at you, or more specifically, treat you with hatred. People you fired or haven't given a raise to, a lot of people feel your power and react with fear. You see, all that amounts to negative energy. To counteract it, you need positive energy. This can be supplied by family members or relatives, but your wives have run out on you, you don't have any children or friends, and you don't communicate with your relatives. You have no sources of positive energy around you. Now, an individual human being is capable of producing positive energy, and in sufficient quantity, within himself, all on his own. But for this he needs to set his heart on some kind of dream or goal, and the step-by-step realization of this goal will bring about positive emotions. You've already achieved so much in life that now it seems you don't have any more goals or dreams left. But it's extremely important to have such a goal and to strive to attain it. I've analyzed the physical and mental health of different types of business people. Someone who likes mixing dough and bakes pies and sells them is happy that he can now afford to buy something he needs and dreams of developing his business. After all, it's only with development that he receives many of the goods and services civilization has to offer. A bank manager or the owner of a profit-making concern likewise strives to develop his business, strives for increased profits, but often with less enthusiasm than someone who makes or sells pies. It's paradoxical, but true. The enthusiasm just isn't as great. It isn't as great because he's got significantly fewer tempting benefits ahead of him than the pie salesman. For him, the achievements of civilization have no special value. They're just routine. If someone with a relatively modest income suddenly has the chance to buy a car, the purchase of the car will evoke in him a tremendous feeling of satisfaction or even ecstasy, while someone who is relatively well off won't get any thrill from a brand new car. To him, it's a mere trifle. Paradoxical, but true. Rich people have fewer occasions for delight than those less well off. There's one other factor that can bring satisfaction, beating one's competition. But you, Mr. Heitzman, it seems, have no competition at all. So it turns out you only have negative energy acting upon you, and there's a great deal of it out there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there's just one force that can conquer the masses of negative energy. Just one, but it's powerful, incredibly powerful. It's called the energy of love. It's when you find yourself in a state of love and someone loves you. Unfortunately, in your case, however, you don't have any women in your life. In fact, it looks like you don't really have any interest in them at all. And at your age, and in your condition, you're not likely to have any more interest in women. There's a lot of evidence to back up my conclusion. I've compared the longevity stats of rich people, prominent politicians and presidents over the past 100 years. The results are quite persuasive. Longevity for the world's power brokers doesn't look all that great by comparison with the common folk. In fact, most often it's less. Paradoxical, but true. Facts are facts. Presidents and millionaires, in spite of being under constant medical care, in spite of having access to the state-of-the-art technical help and medicines and to only the highest quality foodstuffs, are getting sick and dying just like anybody else. All this is eloquent testimony to the fact that surrounding negative energy exerts a colossal influence, and no medical science, even the very latest, is able to counteract it. So, what's the bottom line? A dead-end situation? There is a way out. It may be small, it may be one of its kind, but it's there. Yes, sir, it's there. Memories. My dear Mr. Heitzman, please try to remember the different stages of your life. Any memory that will bring back pleasant feelings. Most importantly, if there's anyone you've given a serious promise to and not carried it out, see if there's any way you can carry it out now. Carry it out now. I ask you, for your own sake, for the sake of science, to take at least 2 or 3 days and try to remember the good moments in your life. We've got equipment to monitor the functioning of many of your body organs. The monitoring goes on minute by minute. If you do what I'm recommending, and if these instruments start indicating positive results, there's indeed a chance we'll be able to see you through to a full recovery. Yes, sir, you'll make it. I'll certainly find a way. Or maybe you'll find it on your own. Or maybe it'll just come about all by itself. Your life will come across it on its own. The professor fell silent and once again fixed his gaze on the hand of his patient, lying motionless before him. A few seconds later, and the customary gesture sent the professor out of the room.